Our top story at 5. It was a defining moment 1 year ago, the shooting of 19-year-old Devon Bailey at the hands of Colorado Springs police.
It brought heartache to a family, protesters to the streets, and put a microscope on 3 local police officers who have since been vindicated twice.
KRDO News Channel 13's Crystal Story has been covering this since the beginning. She takes us through that timeline and the subsequent police reform bill.
And the one with the goatee is going to be the one with the gun.
On August 3rd, 2019.
Put your hands up for me a sec. Put your hands up.
This encounter.
So we got a report of 2 people, similar descriptions, possibly having a gun, all right?
Between 19-year-old Devon Bailey and 2 Colorado Springs police officers would change the city's history.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up!
What resulted in 7 gunshot wounds to the back from Sergeant Alan Vatland and Officer Blake Evanson came with fierce protests.
No justice, no peace, no racist police.
Days after the shooting, surveillance video from a neighbor's home showed the moments Bailey ran from police and fell to the ground after being shot. His family and supporters marched outside the Colorado Springs Police Operations Center, demanding to see what really happened.
We demand an immediate release and review of body cams, dash cams, and all video.
Less than 2 weeks after the shooting, the graphic officer-worn body camera footage was released.
Hands up! Hands up!
It showed officers did find a gun in Bailey's shorts, but the video still sparked outrage from the black community. The investigation on these 2 officers was handed over to a grand jury, who ultimately decides both are cleared of any wrongdoing. Protests continue into December, first at the Festival of Lights parade, on the welcome sign into Colorado Springs, and then again at the mayor's State of the City. Months later, the Federal Bureau of Investigation rules Bailey's rights weren't violated. But when the nationwide Black Lives Matter movement starts, Devon's name is chanted again. In June, a lawsuit on behalf of his family sues the city, the police department, and the officers for wrongful death. Just 2 weeks later, a historic police reform bill is signed into law with Bailey's parents in attendance. The fleeing felon statute lawmakers say cleared the officers of wrongdoing was changed.
You can't use deadly force for somebody who's running away.
But despite the new law, his father told the crowd it came at the cost of his son.
The governor signed this bill that came a little too late, a lot too late.
In Colorado Springs, Crystal Story, KRDO News Channel 13.
A hearing for the civil lawsuit against the city and the police department has not been scheduled due to COVID-19 restrictions. We have a detailed timeline of the entire Devon Bailey case right now at KRDO.com.